Now, I'm not going to flip-flop here. This is the perfect drone for the right person, and I've got the right person, and that's George. Now, George is a content creator and he reviews tech gear for Digital Camera World. Now, the run and gun Neo is just not quite right for him, doesn't cut it for him, and the Mini 4 Pro is just, it's too expensive and a bit too techy for him. So this is absolutely ideal. But George has never flown a drone before, so let's go meet him and get him airborne and show him all the features of this little baby. So this is George, and we're just going to take his Flip for its first flight into the field to start here. So we're quite excited. Looking forward to this, George?
I'm very excited. I can't wait to be taught by the expert.
So we'll go through all of its features and functions, so you'll be confident when you get it up in the air yourself. Okay.
That's good, Tim, because I'm very scared. Losing it, basically.
Okay, let's do it. So we're on the hill with George, and we're going to give the Flip the first flight. George has never flown a drone before.
Complete virgin.
So complete virgin. So I'm going to talk about some of the regs, how to fly this. We're going to see what we think about this and just show him how the controller works as well. And then depending on the light, we're going to try and do a little bit with just the mobile phone, and of course fly it without any other devices, just from palm launching. So let's get this in the air. So first things you need to know, George, before we even get this in the air, is we've got a nice clear space with no dog walkers, no people, so it's a good place to come and experiment down the local park. This is a 250-gram drone, so your rules are no flying over crowds of people, which is if there's a group of people that can't move away easily. Okay. It's a bit of a loose term, but generally don't buzz people, avoid people. But you can fly these in a town centre, over buildings,
I'd be scared to fly it here because I'm not confident. You're a drone confident person, but yeah, this looks good though.
At least you know what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And then there's obviously, you know, airports, prisons and things like that to avoid, but I'll show you an app that covers all that, so you can just look at that and go, okay, I know I'm safe to fly here. Obviously, always respect people's privacy. You know, don't buzz people annoyingly, and then you're pretty much good to go. So fly it, you know, with caution always. Okay.
Sure.
A couple of things to do. You know, when you're launching these, always be, say, about 4 or 5 meters away. Make sure no one else is in the near space, and call out launching, so that anyone knows that the drone's going up in the air. And then similar when you're coming into land, you make sure if there's anyone nearby. Always keep an eye open for like dog walkers and things, or people coming up to talk to you. Just say, can I speak to you after I've landed?
Yeah,
because you don't want distractions and things, and people will think, oh, it's really fun to have a chat to this person with a drone. So that's just a basic rules straight away. Now you've got these nice little covers here. On this one, you just pinch at the side to take these off. Now this is quite exposed, this, so
you have to take that off to fly then?
Take this off to fly the cover.
Okay.
You want to be careful bumping into things because this is quite exposed. There's no sort of drone body that covers it, so that's just a thing to be aware of.
Something for me to lose later.
Now once we pop these open, it will automatically start the drone, and then we'll just place it on our mat over here.
So you didn't even turn it on?
So don't you need to turn it on?
Wow.
Now when we put it on the mat, we face it away from us.
Okay.
So that means when you turn it, right is right, left is left, forward is forward, backwards is backwards. If it's facing us, all the controls will be opposite.
Okay.
So good rule of thumb, face the drone away from you when you're coming into land or taking off.
And landing as well. Gotcha.
Because it means the controls are how you expect them in your brain. You haven't got
arse,
to mirror
elbow.
You haven't got to mirror things in your brain.
Yeah. No, I would be incapable of mirroring a thing in my brain.
Okay. So to turn this controller on, you tap once, then hold it down, and you'll see all the lights come up.
Cool.
So that's now firing up.
DJI app is on.
We've got
changed to orange.
We've got the app open, and it's now auto connected.
Cool.
Because we've already done the sync drone to DJI Fly.
Yeah.
So now essentially that's ready to launch, and you can either hold these controllers in to launch it, or you can launch it from this button here, which I'll show you in a second. But before we take off, I'll just give you a quick overview of this controller. When you want the drone to come back to you, you can just press
home.
The home button, just hold that down,
and it'll
come home. If you want to stop it doing that, just tap the pause icon.
And it'll carry on.
Okay. This is your normal mode and sports mode. Okay. So sport mode, it flies around a lot faster. And with drones that don't have any, that have sensors all around, it'll turn all those off as well.
Okay.
Normal mode, the sensors are working and it flies in a normal fashion. And in cine mode, it'll just be a bit smoother in its actions, more cinematic.
Okay.
And
cool.
There are ways in the controls where we can actually change all those settings to make them, dampen them out, make them smoother, which we can come back to another time.
Advanced.
Note, whatever you have this on, it'll always launch in normal mode.
Okay.
So you might have it there, and it'll launch in normal mode, and you'll be flying in normal mode. So
you have to flick after you've taken off.
It's best just to keep it in normal mode, and then make a decision when you're in the air. Okay. What do I want to do? Okay, and then this is obviously your on-off button. This is take a photo, and FM button. You can do shortcuts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's your basic controls there, and photo video button there.
Oh, nice.
Controller, the right hand one, forwards, backwards, yaw to the side, yaw to the side.
Okay, as you'd kind of expect from the direction it's facing, yeah.
Left stick
up and down
is forward is up, backwards is down.
Okay.
Right is look to the right, left is
panning.
Look to the left.
Okay. Right, two things to get confused with, yeah.
Two things to get confused with. Now, on your app screen, I'll come back to that in a second. I just want to get the drone in the air while you've still got your batteries working. So I'll simply go tap here, and it says take off. So you just hold your finger down, and the propeller's started, and I'm able to rotate all the propellers happily.
Okay.
Maybe it wants to be slightly flatter. Let's try that.
Here we go.
And we're in the air.
Oh, that's fast.
So, what we would do, I'd just come back, bring it down. While it's low down, I'm just going to use the controls to test it.
Okay, I'm going to watch what you're doing.
So, as you can see from the drone here, I'm going to go forwards, backwards, right, left, down, up, look to the left, look to the right. So I know it's all working fine. Fantastic. So I've done my test. Now I'm going to take it up to about 10 meters or so. Firstly, you'll notice on the screen, this is your height, your 14 meters.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is your distance from us, 6 meters. So if I fly out in front...
horizontal or X distance, if you like.
Go.
Z distance.
So there's responding really nicely.
So it's 19 meters away now and 14 meters high.
Away. Exactly. When you want to come back, you see your launch button there.
Yeah.
It now says return to home.
Okay, and that's the same as pressing the button on the console?
Yes, and if you hold that down, it'll automatically come back and land
that's
there.
Reassuring.
So if you've lost track of it in the sky, you're like, oh no, I lost it. You can always do that and know it'll come back.
Wow, okay, good button to know.
This button just here, if I turn it towards me,
you're just pan now, yep, with left,
right.
Yep.
And then you've got a wheel here, which will just look down and up.
Oh, fantastic. Down. So that's the angle of the camera.
Now, if I tap this button,
you can draw around subject, and it's now tracking.
This automatically looks for people.
Yeah.
So now, if I was to tap that, it comes up in spotlight. So
So we're going for walkies. It's going to pan.
There we go. That changes now to video.
Okay.
Right, so now we're in video mode.
And now we can hit recording.
So now...
Doggy alert.
Doggy alert. So now I can hit the icon here. And so it's got, okay, you do want to select that.
Yeah.
Center is spotlight. So if I just hit that, now I can just hit the right-hand stick.
Right-hand stick, yeah. And it's going, it's circling round.
And it's going to circle round me. And instead of keep yawing to the left, it'll actually do a circle because it wants to keep me in the middle of the shot.
Now that is very useful for very quick establishing shots and things like that.
Interesting how it's really leading into
banking, isn't it?
Really banking hard to get that circle.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting, actually.
Nice.
Okay, so now we can do active track. So let's just turn that off in a second. That's spotlight. So if we do active track, too high. So let's just bring him down and a bit
using
closer.
The left. Yeah.
So clearly he doesn't want to be too far away.
Yeah.
To do active track. See if that's better. Active track.
Just like their walkies.
So we're kind of 9 or 10 meters. So let me see if I can select you.
All right, I'll stand here.
So if you stand there, I'm going to select.
Getting some B-roll here.
Take the cross off. I'm going to select you.
Yeah.
Press record. Hang on. Active track. I want active track. Oh, it is recording. Right. Now you can go for a walk.
Okay. I'm being followed. Yeah. Wow.
So go away from it now.
Yep.
And he's after you.
Yeah.
He's coming to get you.
I'm in the walls. So this is good for presenting to camera stuff.
Yeah.
Which I might like to do. And is it tilting as well as panning and...
Yeah. So you can even bring it...
Welcome. Yeah, I can see the angle tilting. That's so cute. And even though the drone's tilted, the lens is parallel with the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. Does it stop following me now? No, it's still in its sights. I'm still in its target.
So until we hit the cross. Now, this one you might be interested in because I'll select you again and I'm going point of interest. And you see here, I'm going to slide that to the right.
Yeah.
And now it's going to move round us.
Oh, that's what I would like for my...
recording. So now you could be talking to a camera while the drone is getting B-roll of you flying around.
Yeah.
Now you see it's going quite fast.
Yes.
Let's just bring it the other way, but I'm going to make it slow by the amount I've pushed it round.
That's really handy.
So you see now it's just creeping round us.
Perfect tracking shot.
So I could easily be going, now for this part of the video, we're just using the active track, point of interest, and I forgot what this one's called.
What the...
oh no, this is point of interest. The other one's spotlight.
Yes.
Which is what we call tripod in the sky.
So it's tripod in the sky, spotlight. This is active interest. This is a great...
No. So active track's when you're off walking around.
Oh, it's following you.
It's tracking you.
Yeah.
Point of interest is like a tripod in the sky.
Right.
So, for example...
That's what this is doing.
No, so this is point of interest.
Yeah.
So spotlight
is the
when
tripod.
I do that one. Take us. So now, as we walk around, it'll just...
This is spotlight.
It'll just follow us.
So this is like a tripod in the sky.
This is the tripod in the sky.
Yeah.
So it's the centre one, the spotlight.
Yeah, got you.
Is tripod. So that's quite good if you want to walk off
present.
and present.
Yes.
So I think that one you'll find really easy and useful to use. I think that's quite handy.
Staying in shot.
Staying in
And
shot.
are we still recording onto the card?
So everything's recording onto the card.
Yes, but only because we told it to. If we stop
'Cause
recording.
when it recognises you put a card in there, it goes, do you want to switch?
Okay.
So now it'll always record onto the card because we've taken that choice. Okay, so just
Marvellous. So we've stopped recording now.
do that. And then to do photos, you can click here again. I'm
Okay.
not sure if it's your spoon. And you've got the photo button there.
And there's a button on the front here as well for photos.
Yeah, so we've gone into photo mode. So we go, hi. And that's taking a photo of us.
Fantastic.
And let's go back into here. Don't know if that's your screen or right.
Yeah, it could be a screen.
So you've got video, but you've got here Mastershots, quickshots, and a hyperlapse and a PANO.
Oh, yeah.
So video we've just been looking at. And of course, a video you could just fly the drone around and have some fun. So for example, let's get rid of that X. Let's take this little green dots away.
What was that green dot?
You see that spot
Yeah.
with the square around it?
Yeah.
That is looking
It's
for
tracking.
objects.
Yes.
And I think I'm right in saying it'll only track people,
Okay.
not cars, bicycles, etc.
Okay, that's a shame in a way.
That's just
what about a person in an open top car, like a Jeep?
Might do, but I think it'll probably look for body.
Right.
So I think it'll
maybe
look
not.
for body.
Yeah.
So we can now just fly this around. Let's just turn it. Yeah. So I'm just gonna.
I'll get some shots of it doing its thing. Yeah. It's very nippy.
It's quite agile,
It's
doesn't
not
it?
as loud as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I heard they're quite loud, but that really isn't that bad.
No.
You can see it really does lean into the wind, and it's only quite a light wind.
Is that why it's tilted? Is it because of the
So,
wind? Yeah.
I think a lot of it has got to do with quite a bit of wind resistance from those propeller guards.
Yeah.
So
But it's steady though.
the other thing you've got on here is Mastershots. Let's just take it away from us a little bit so it can see us a little more easily.
Yeah.
Now with Mastershots, it will go through a series of quick shots of like automated little shots.
Camera moves.
Camera moves. So let's do it. Let's select us and go start. You can set it to do different heights, widths, etc. Different parameters here. But let's just
There you go. It's counting down.
counting down.
I
So
know.
there you
Do we
go.
know which ones it's doing?
It should. Oh, it's doing a zoom in and out. Circle, medium.
Saying on the screen. Yeah.
So it tells on the screen. Now, you can also, to see what it's doing, is click that to expand. You should be able to zoom in on that as well. That shows you the flights we've done.
Yeah. Oh, in this session, wow.
On the session. So we can click that to go back to us, and that's in the background.
Yeah, it's doing a slow circle.
Circle. So while we're looking
This
at
is
that,
very quick then, if you want
you
a
can
quick
do
move.
compass.
Okay, so you know where it's going. Yeah. And now it's doing a droney. Look at that.
Doing a drone.
The droney comes back in again, does it, as well?
Yeah, on the Neo, it films you on the way back in as well. So
This might do it if you do just a droney from the mode on the side.
yeah, if you're doing, you're true. I think you're probably right. Right now, because it's Mastershots, it's just going through.
Pitch up and fly forward. So it's going to pitch up and fly forward.
And it's going to tilt up to reveal us. It's going to be a reveal. Here it goes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hello, you beauty.
Yeah,
that's an intro to the video then, you see, and now it's doing a rocket.
Yeah. I mean, the quality on that is superb.
Yeah.
Because it's the same sensor as the Mini 4 Pro.
Wow. And now we've got a circle. What are we still doing now? It's gone high. In fact, we should be able to see how high that is.
Camera down and
meters.
circle.
Okay.
You're right.
Camera
Now,
straight and descend, so it's going to come down. See, I'm scared seeing it that high. Guess we come back.
So your legal height limit is 120 meters.
And it won't be able to go higher.
So,
or I suppose you could make it go higher.
You'll get a warning.
Yeah. Okay. 120 meters.
120 meters. So, and then back to a start point. So the other thing to keep an eye on here is the green. So it's 45 minutes, 45% of battery left,
On the
which
drone,
is about 10 minutes.
Oh, that's very handy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is telling you the connection to the RC.
Strong.
This strong.
The force is strong.
This is sensors, and this is how many satellites you got. 29.
More than enough.
So you kind of, it likes usually about 16.
Oh, okay. So it's using satellite for navigation then, is that what's happening?
And yeah, and it'll often only go to about 20 meters if it hasn't got a full set of satellites.
Okay.
So now we've got the different, as you said, the drone is rockets, etc.
Okay.
So it's already done a series of these, but like you can do helix.
So helix is a rotating, spinny thing.
So
how do you trigger that then? You just go
So let's pick us and kick start.
Okay, and it counts down.
Counts down. You should get a nice
Here we go for a helix.
And it should be a kind of a nice kind of corkscrew, I think of it.
Here we go on a helix.
Yeah. So it's going up and out. I love the helix. It's a really dynamic shot. It's going quite fast.
It is, isn't it? But basically, it's very quick presets to get loads of different cutaways and to just pepper into a video.
It's kind of like a quick win.
Yeah.
So for a content creator, I think this is fabulous. So let's look at another one. Boomerang. It's like sort of an oval.
Boing. Yeah. So you have to choose a focus point for all of these.
Yeah. There you go. It'll do like.
Now, to record onto the app,
so these will be recording.
For voice, you can do voice because it's plugged into the controller.
But you can do for the recording, you can do a quick transfer to this. So when you come out of this fly screen, asteroid, and like this.
Oh dear, it's going to wipe out the dinosaurs. Okay.
Just do some little magic now.
This is asteroid. Whoa. Hello, and it comes back to the same point it landed in.
Yeah, so that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
And to view these, you can click the icon here.
Streaming them from the device.
And you'll see they're all cached there. So there's your asteroid, okay?
Nifty.
So the only other thing we've not really covered is you've got hyperlapse. It's good when you've got more moving, lots of cars and things.
For sure.
So we can demo that another time.
Yeah.
And PANO will just do nice big panoramics, and it'll give you a little choice of
just better
panos
to something. Yeah.
It will give you.
It's a bit like a gimbal remote. It's a bit like controlling a gimbal.
Yeah. So they gives you the different types of panos you can create.
Yeah.
And the only other thing is, which we can come back to later in the studio, is you've got those little 3 dots at the top. Will take you into your different safety options.
Very nice.
Here, and you can limit how high or far you want it to go,
cool,
etc. And then
so you could limit it to 120, so you can't fly above.
Limited, and then your camera, because you're in JPEG at the moment.
RAW's good.
RAW, etc. Now, because we were on PANO, that's showing the photography. But if we go to video, then in camera it will give you the video options. So now you've got your video options.
Okay. So you got your overexposure warning, that's good.
Yeah. Style is whether you want it sharpened or not.
Yeah.
And I believe you've got D-Log as well.
Oh, yes,
so that would be quite nice just to have.
A bit of D-Log,
this is colour assist, so you won't see it faded out.
But
that now
gives you a sense of what you're filming.
And you can just draw a finger around, by the way, like that.
Yeah.
And let me just go.
So this is D-Log, it's recording in now.
That's your colour assist. You've got your coding, MP4s,
Yeah.
so it doesn't give you actually choices there. So all that you'd probably keep similar. You can have grid lines on if you want. Framing I don't normally worry about. And white balance auto is usually 100% fine. And that shows you your SD card there.
There's a lot of space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Okay, so transmission, never anything interesting there. This is where you can see any firmware updates, etc.
Wow.
So yeah, controls we just looked at. You're in metric and gain and expo here. This is where you can tweak, say cine mode. You can then go, well, I want you to move a bit slower or smoother and things like that.
Yeah.
Or you could adjust normal mode.
Normal.
I normally leave normal and sport totally alone, but with cine mode, I might
slow it down a bit.
Slow and smooth. So when I want to go slow and smooth, I've 100% got control.
Cool.
And that's just under controls, and they call it under gain and expo tuning.
Okay.
There's that one.
So
And gimbal mode, just keep it in follow. Oh, you can actually get it to charge your phone. I've not seen that before.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you want this to be charging,
probably not.
and this way you can customize your button here.
Yes.
So the moment the FN is to recenter the gimbal, but you could put it onto one of these other exposure lock is
could be useful.
I think quite useful because you might get
function.
good exposure. You know, tilt it down, get the exposure.
Yeah.
And when you fly around, it doesn't expose for the sky.
Does it do a lot of hunting once it's up?
Well, what happens is when it looks out, I might be filming this house, but because I'm doing a lower down flying towards the house, it suddenly exposes for the sun.
And then you lose the house.
Sky.
Yeah.
The house is really dark.
Yeah.
But I kind of sometimes I go, well, I don't care if the sky is burnt out. I want the house to be just right. So I have that as a shortcut. I'll look at the ground at the house.
Feel free to leave it on that.
Hit that.
Yeah.
Then when I tilt the gimbal up, it'll keep that ground correctly exposed.
Obviously, there's modes on the drone to do some of those zoomies and rockets without any controller, but I think it's much more secure and safe, and you know what's going on when you use the phone and the controller like this.
So when you've got this, you've got way more control. With the phones, it's just a couple of basic options. So you can make the circle go a close circle, a medium, or a far circle.
So that's just using the phone as a remote without the controller. Yeah,
exactly. So it just gives you, and then you can say I want it to be low or high, doing that circle or doing that follow. So it gives you kind of like 3 options.
Some basics,
So that's quite handy if you're in a hurry. You know, you've already set your phone up. You know how you kind of like it for what you're doing, and then you can just like plunge, get it in the air, follow me, I'm off, got a bit of content, land it, off to the next shot. Is really handy.
And if you're really lazy and you haven't got your phone out, you can get the drone to do preset moves without any remote control at all. Is that right?
Yeah. So basically, what you do is these buttons on the side. This is your on-off button, and you same as how you started the charger. One press and then hold it down for 4. And this side, you've got another button, and this will cycle round.
Manual mode.
So at the moment it's in manual mode because
we're connected
to
but it would go to.
But it will cycle through the different options of whether you want to do a droney or a circle or a boomerang.
And it'll take off from your palm.
And so you'll hold it in your palm.
Yeah.
A thing to consider is when your hand's wide like that, it can refuse to take off because it thinks your fingers are too near the blades.
Okay.
So you might need to actually...
They recommend you hold it like that, apparently.
Hold it like this.
Yeah.
So the sensors don't go... you might foul the blades, which would be like really hard to get your fingers caught in here. But
I'm sure I could manage.
But with those tiny, dainty fingers, I'll poke them up in there.
4 meters. Droney. 3, 2, 1.
So I press the button to cycle through the different options, and then on the option you want, you just hold the button down and it'll perform the manoeuvre as you could hear. And then it'll just come back to you. So let's just press the button again.
Circle.
Circle, now I'll hold the button down.
2 meters. Circle. 3, 2, 1.
So to change these parameters, you just do it within the app. So you can have it doing it further away, higher or lower.
Rocket.
Rocket.
4 meters. Rocket. 3, 2. Unable to take off. Aircraft in motion.
Because I'm still moving my hand, it won't do it.
4 meters. Rocket. 3. Unable to take off. Aircraft in motion. 4 meters. Rocket. 3, 2, 1.
What have we got next?
Spotlight.
Spotlight. 2.
Spotlight. 3, 2, 1.
So with Spotlight, it's what we call the tripod in the sky, which you saw previously, and it'll just move around following you. So helix.
4 meters. Helix. 3, 2, 1.
I actually did do that off of a flat hand, and I could just feel the props rubbing my fingers. Didn't seem to bother it, it still took off nicely.
Follow.
Follow.
Medium. Follow. 3, 2, 1.
Take it round the tree. What's it going to do? Well, it didn't seem quite as smart as the Neo. The Neo followed my path, whereas this tried to cut the corner. Okay, well, they seem to manage that quite well actually. So this is a LiDAR in the front,
so
in here,
collision detection from the
that'll
front.
give you collision detection, which is a new thing they brought in, like on the Air 3S. So it's obviously their new tech that's now come into this drone, and we'll probably see it on all their future drones.
Yeah.
Usually they say it's for like low light usage. So we haven't flown it through the woods yet. That would be maybe the next test.
Next test, when I've recharged. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have seen people break these gimbals.
Let's not do that.
Bumping into things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
although looking at it, because of these guards, you've got protection.
You need a big twig, wouldn't you? Woof.
You have got reasonably good
Yeah.
protection, unless you hit something hard enough to fold them up. What did you think?
That was fantastic. I'm really impressed with the way the Flip flew, and I'm now less scared to give it a go myself with the techniques you showed me in the remote control. And yeah, I just can't wait to get out there into the hills of Scotland and do some content. So yeah, thank you.
And the other way to fly the Flip is by using the app. And all you need to do is launch the app, turn the drone on, and you'll see it connect, and you click the Go Fly. If you don't see that, they'll say connection guide, and just click that, find your drone, click on that, and it'll sync together and it'll launch the mobile app. So with this, you can completely fly the drone. You won't get as much control as you will from the RC controller that you saw earlier, but when you're particularly using the autonomous palm launch, you can change all those autonomous settings in this app. So I'll just quickly give you a very quick tour and show you how to make those adjustments. And that's in the middle. You can see at the moment it says follow. So if I click on that, you can see all the different options there. So when I click on follow, that's selected my follow. If I got droney, that's selected droney. Now, if you want to change what each of those do, if you go to the bottom right hand side where it says settings, again, you can see it says follow, droney, circle, rocket, spotlight, and the custom. So just quickly looking at those, the follow, you could see you can choose it to be close, medium, or far away from you, low, high, flat in height. And so you can make those adjustments there. So when you do your palm launch, that's where it'll fly from those parameters that you've set. And likewise, when you're flying with the app, it'll use those parameters. So just going back with the droney, again, you've got maximum distance and height. So you can make it rise up and away from you, or it could be very flat. And then if we just very quickly look at circle, again, the distance from you and whether you want it to be quite flat or quite high up when it's going round. And same with rocket, spotlight, videos or photos. And then custom, you can choose now whether you want it to do directional tracking, or it can do the helix or the boomerang. So you can choose a variety there, and again choose different parameters that you want it to do just there. So just coming out of that, out of those settings, if you choose manual, then you can see when you've taken off, you'll have the different controls to actually fly the drone around. Also, you'll see the microphone icon there. If you click that, it's asking you, do you want to use your mobile phone microphone? So now when you've got the phone near you, you're flying your drone, it will record the voice, and then you can sync, it'll automatically sync the voice to the recording on the drone and remove the propeller noise as well. Slightly digitalized audio, but it's quite possible. And even if you have a separate mic and you want to link that to your phone, or a separate mic recording of higher quality, then it's a good way to sync in post-production. Of course, we just want to get the drone in the air and do some flying, but there are a few little admin things we need to do first, and I will drop the links in the description below so they're all there for you. Firstly is you need to go to the DJI website and just create an account, and then when you launch the app, you just put in those account details. That'll all link together, because that's how you'll get the app working, and you'll be able to do all your firmware updates and everything as well. So you just go here, put in your email and a password, and that's it. You've registered, you're good to go. Next, you'll want the app, Fly app, DJI Fly app. Now on the box that comes with your drone, there's a QR code. You can just scan that, download the app, and you could go online on your phone and download the app that way as well. Next, you'll need to register. So you're going to register as a drone operator. You do not need a flyer ID. So when you go to the CEA website, and as I say, there'll be a link below, it will say register as drone operator, but you will need to register for a flyer ID as well. Check here, so it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to do that. You don't need to, because it's only a 250 gram drone, but you do need to do the operator ID because it has a camera. I've done another video on doing your operator ID to give you more detail, and on flyer IDs, so you can watch that. But otherwise, just go here, scoot down, click the start button, and it's £11.13 in the UK. So in other countries, in America, etc., they'll have their own system, their own way of doing that. So just go to the FAA website and register yourself there. Next, the other tip is I would download the app Altitude Angel, and they call it Drone Safety Map. And this is really super useful because you can just put in a location, and this will tell you everything that's going on in that area as far as restricted flying space. And you'll see these different colors. Now, the ones you're concerned about are these circles with the rectangles coming off. Those are airports. Those you stay well away from. These great big large rectangles around FRZs, flight restricted zones, you can ignore those. They're just CTRs, the controlled areas, but they're not a no-fly area. These blue areas will be a no-fly area, and they'll be temporary, but they'll be usually where a drone can't fly, or they might actually be for a zone higher than you will actually fly. If you want to know more about them, you just click on those and it gives you more information there. So restricted area for a helicopter, and you can scoot down and it gives you more information about when that's going to be restricted, etc. So those are where the NOTAMs are logged there. And you can see if you click on these other areas, they'll give you what's going on there. The yellow ones are like local airfields. Usually you just need to be aware of other aircraft around, but they'll be in higher airspace. They'll be at 500 feet above, and you're only allowed to fly your drone up to 400 foot. So there's a 100-foot gap, safety gap there. So thoroughly recommend that. And lastly, keeping a good eye on the weather. Now, you'll get used to what is good and what's not, but you might want to be looking into a few days away, etc. And I thoroughly recommend this app, UAV Forecast for drone pilots. It's absolutely superb. I would use it in conjunction with other local weather forecasting, but this specifically for pilots. And you can put in what drone you've got, its wind speed limits, and what height you're flying at, and it will tell you whether it's good to fly or not, and it will tell you what the gusts are as well. So this gives you really, really superb intel. So I thoroughly recommend having those apps on your phone to do your flight planning. And that's it. A few little things to do, but once you've done it, you'll be used to using those apps and things. And your operator ID, that is once a year, you need to renew that. And that's you done. Well, what a cracking bit of kit. Amazing little design, and for the right person, absolutely fabulous. Now, of course, there's a link in the description below. Got any questions around this, or little things you want to share with me, then drop it in the comments below. I always respond to everything. If you want to see more videos on DJI drones, there's a playlist over there. Show me the love, subscribe to the channel there, and I look forward to seeing you over there.